comes to new things.
So that wouldn't operate error right there.
No, because sometimes it just malfunction. Yeah, sometimes you play games and stuff is a malfunction. All right, so Purim, right? That's today's lesson. Well, that's today's feast. I'm sorry. So Purim is kind of like will be like the Israelites' Christmas. Where they give gifts and stuff. And we're gonna read a couple scriptures about that. And I'm gonna read something about towards y'all in general about Purim, right? So this is the part of Purim where it comes from, right? So this is in the book of Esther. It's chapter 9, verses 20 through 23. So this is when Esther was saving the Israelites during this time when they was trying to, get rid of the Israelites, right? So as I read, it says, and Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the province of the king Xerxes, both nigh and far, to establish this amongst them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly, as the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning to a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor. And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai I had written unto them. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast Pur, that is, the lot to consume them, and to destroy them. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device which he devised against the Jews should return upon his own head, and that he and his son should be hanged on the gallows, wherefore they call these days Purim, after the name of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter, and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had came unto them. All right, so you saw it say the 14th day, 15th day. So technically, Purim is really on Tuesday, right? It's on Tuesday, Wednesday, but we know I gotta work. Yeah, I gotta work. I ain't got there yet, but next year probably we'll, do something Tuesday and Wednesday. I just been doing Saturday because that's the day everybody used to. But all the other holy days are on Saturday, so just know that Purim is the only one that's not. It's actually on Tuesday and Wednesday. It's a 2-day feast where you get together, you celebrate gifts. So y'all see all the balloons and stuff. Yeah. But this is all also thanks to y'all, from the tithe and the money stuff you're giving. This stuff I wanted to do. You already know we won't get the shofar and stuff like that, because not only is the Bible, right, it's a religious book, right, but it's really more than that. It's a math book. It's a lesson book. It's a moral book. It's a civil book. It has all these things, right? And I've been watching Malcolm X lately, and he was talking about how people always talk about politics, right? Politics. I was talking about politics a little bit before, right? But politics is just like salt, right? It's just an ingredient inside the bread. You gotta have the whole thing. So you gotta have civil laws, moral laws, all these things, because let's say, right, and what's it called? Integration. Like that's what it's called, right? Integration. That's the worst thing, right? And it's not because I'm racist or anything, because I have white friends, mixed friends. Yeah, right.
That's what racist say.
Integration is really bad because when you dealing with God, right? Integration is really bad because let's say this half is my family, this ain't mine, right? So we integrated. So y'all white, y'all eat pork. They don't eat pork. So when I send them to your house or your schools or whatever, now they're in a situation where they may have to break the rules of God, right? But I wouldn't have the problem. I had to send them to Mr. Mike house or Ms. Ron house or Dre house. It's like, well, they don't eat pork. I got nothing to worry about. They're not doing this to the kids. That's what integration really is, right? And it's nothing against, like I said, any race. Because even you black person, they say I'm a Christian, he's a Muslim. When I send my son to his house, that they're gonna do Muslim things. Like we Ramadan right now, right? So we ain't eating when the sun go down. Well, my son don't do that. So when he go over there, he like, oh, what's going on? So it's the same thing with schools, politics, all that. It's because what happens in religion's aspect, it's a part where you just worship, you pray to God, you serve God, that's it, right? But there's a culture aspect missing. And when you read the Israelites, they're about culture. You ever talk to somebody? I remember the first time I met a Caucasian person, and when my friend Randy, he was going to a funeral, right? This was the first thing I ever heard this. We at work. Work started at 7:30. He was like, I'm gonna leave at 8 o'clock to go to the funeral and come back at 11. I said, what funeral you going to? Well, my family had funeral. We shut down. I'm taking off for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was a party, but that's their culture. So just imagine when you integrate culture. So right. So just say, let's say he gets married to somebody, right? Their culture is different. This is where all the problems lie at. God isn't against races. He's not against that. The culture is different because you believe in one thing with his rules, and then you mess with somebody else, or you deal with other people who have a whole different mindset, different rules. Everybody isn't for genderless bathrooms. Everybody isn't for, gluten-free food. Everybody's not in for that. That's what the survey was about, really. The survey was also about to change the food up, not so if y'all tired of food or whatever, but you got to build a culture. You got to build an environment. When me and him worked together in AutoZone, I left and the boss left, was a white guy. So a black guy and a white guy, but we built a culture. We played music, we had cookouts, all that. When we left, ain't no music, ain't no cookouts, right? People locking doors. It's like a tyrant thing, right? And people, the first thing they said was the culture not the same. Because everybody came to our store, we did things different. We started stuff. We made up new carts. We was making stuff up that the other stores started following because they were spreading the rumors like they was doing this, they were doing that. Because we established a culture. We all AutoZone, but we established a culture. So what I'm doing over here is establishing a culture. It's not a cult thing. It's not a cult robe. It's called a throw. The Muslims got it. We got it. I like it. It's comfortable. It got pockets. You know what I'm saying? I can put my phone and stuff in it. It keep me warm. And when I go out, other brothers see me. They say shalom, things like that. And that makes me happy and proud because as an African American Negro, whatever you want to call it, coming up, I never really had nothing to go back on. So you would see the Asians, they got their little samurais and all this other stuff. Everybody got things. We don't have nothing. They just say the Egypt, right? But everybody not from Egypt. Everybody from Africa can't be from Egypt. Everybody can't be Cleopatra and them. We got to be something else. But what's my history? And then I started learning, oh, man, Israelite. Oh, they do got history. They do got feasts. They do got where they dress and things like that. I like fringes. I like wearing the headbands. I like all these things. So it's like this right here is establishing the culture. So just remind you, when you go to church, the reason why you don't like the church is because you really don't like the culture. You don't even go for the word. People go because, oh, they here doing speaking in tongues, or they playing with snakes, or they singing too much, this and that. That's not church. That's a culture. And none of them can tell me a Bible verse. That's church. When I'm showing y'all scriptures, that's church. You want to learn about the word, right? And then within the word, you will see the culture explain itself, right? So this is the highest gift. Go through the fire, right? So this is a few scriptures I'm gonna read. This is in the book of Sirach, which is in the Apocrypha, and so is Second Esdras. It say, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." And then Second Esdras 16-73 says, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire." Revelation 3:18, "I counsel thee to buy of me gold, tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thy eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see it." Right? So this is talking about God. He's comparing you to gold, right? But the only way gold really shine, if you ever know about gold, it got to go through the fire, right? That's the only way it works. Have you ever seen gold in its like raw form? It look like a dirty rock. You probably walk right over it, right? When you put that thing through fire, you remove all the impurities because they got sediments from rocks and stuff. It becomes pure. So you can get that back, bro. No, I'm talking about, bro. He know what I'm talking about. So Hearken is today's lesson. But before I do that, like I said, it's Purim. You gotta give out gifts. Y'all not poor. Y'all family. So my brother gonna give everybody a gift.
Thank you.
They love letters.
Thank you.
I went dollar store, looked at a bunch of love cards and gave everybody one. The dollar store, the best place to go. You want to decorate something? Everything for $1. And you go to Party City, the same stuff be like $15. Like, whoa, that's crazy. I get one too.
I was gonna get it.
I don't want one that for me. I got mine already. Yeah. Everybody's opening it, right? Don't nobody open the envelope yet. Oh, you already opened it. Of course you did. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Nah, go ahead, do your thing. Open it. Go ahead, open it. You just it's open. No, I said open the gifts because there's stuff in there. There's more than just the envelope. You gonna be going through, bro? I got you. Of course, y'all think there's money in there. That's what they do. When I used to get a birthday card, if I got one, I'm over that day to see if it's cash.
Hey, man, he never fall out. This ain't a good card. That ain't a good card. I don't even care what it say. I don't care who signed it. Grandma ain't put no money in that thing. Grandma ain't put no money in.
I need some bookmarks too. I ain't. Oh.
Everybody open their gifts.
Thank you.
Yeah, you go with the card. So what's in there, right? You got the keychain, right?
Yes, thank you.
That's Ephesians 6. That's one of my favorite scriptures. We battle with not the flesh, but with the spirit, right? Not against flesh and blood, because that's the problem with everybody. Everybody's always battling the fleshly blood side. Now that right there, right? Now you open the envelopes, everybody see gold, right? So that's what y'all really worth. Don't let the Bible tell you that. Is everybody amazed by the gold? See how it shines? Just to let y'all know, that is real 24 karat gold. Okay? It's a real 24 karat gold. If you ever fall in hard times, that card at the moment is worth about $8. All right? But it constantly grows because gold is always growing. Yeah, it's always increasing. It'll never decrease because gold is actually, because gold is actually the thing of money. But like I said, whether you keep it because you want to fall in hard times or you want to collect those things like that, right? That's how I see. Huh? Oh no. That's not. That was just a little joke about the little card. No, that you don't can't get that out the dollar store. The dollar store don't have that type of stuff.
It never really went away, but it's coming back. It's going to be the next money again. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And like I said, all y'all go. So anything that you're going through in life and you feel like you've been down, you're going through all this adversity, just know that God is just preparing you to shine like you're supposed to. That's the only way gold works. So you ever heard somebody say they got like a 22 karat chain or 18 karat chain? Well, all of them all appear 24 karat gold. What happens is the 22, 18, 14, that just show you how much gold, true gold is in it because it needs other alloys, right? That particular card y'all got is just straight gold. There's nothing else in it. It's all made of gold, right? But that's what it would look like if they was to take a 10 karat chain and burn it all off. It'll come out as that product right there, right? That's so there's no impurities, no things like that, right? All right.
That's yeah. App next. I think that's
Correct. I mean, you can get it from anywhere, but that's where I got it from.
a very reputable place.
Yeah, that's like the gold. That's like the Rothschild gold.
Where'd you come from?
AP Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
I mean, it's a lot of gold places you can get gold from, but a lot of people don't know things like that. So a lot of them have like limits. AP Max, you can just be a broke guy, $30 silver, you can get one. Some places, in order for you to buy stuff, you got to have like a 5,000 limit, like a minimum, because they selling bricks and stuff. And mind you, they got that kind of stuff there, but they still want a minimum. So that's where all your jewelers and stuff will go to buy. They will get it from them big places.
$100 an ounce in
Yeah, about that gold. Yeah, so it's pretty hefty. Yeah, but what's crazy is though that's not the most expensive thing though. The most expensive thing is actually melanin. Yeah, melanin is like $350 a gram. Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, so that's why a lot of people of color become missing, right? Because they be taking them for melanin.
How you sell it?
How do you sell it?
So a lot of y'all good. Oh, I mean, I've been talking for a minute. So a lot of people don't know, like I said, that's why a lot of people get missing. They use that. You ever seen people, like I've seen people that were like, we call them the light-skinned people. They have like darker skin. They're getting injected with melanin, right? And this is why you would see people gone. So I said it's 328, right, for a gram. And in a pound, it's 448 grams. How much you weigh?
180.
180?
190.
190. We're going to say 180. If they was to kill him, he worth $27 million. Right.
So how I sell it while I'm live?
I mean, you can. I don't think that's what you want to do. Hey, listen. I don't think that's what you want. I don't think that's what you want to do because melanin also protects you from a lot of things. Protects you from the sun. It protects you from diseases and illness. But don't get it twisted. You know when you go to the thing and you got your ID and they say I'm a organ donor, or they looking for you. You're the first one. Yeah, you're the first one they're gonna get. Yeah, they don't want your organs. Because even still in that capacity, they gotta make sure you're alive because if you dead too long, they're not gonna work properly. So they gotta catch you while you have. So this is today's lesson, right? It's talking about Hearken. So first is Mark 6:7, 16 and 14, Proverbs 29 and 12. It says, if any man have ears to hear, let him hear. And when he had called all the people unto him, he said unto them, hearken unto me, every one of you, and understand. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. So I'm gonna show y'all what hearken is in the Hebrew. So the hearken is Shema, right? You might hear the word Shema. What that means is hear, but hearken is hearing and listening, right? And it says to hear intelligently with attention and obedience. So when you hearken to God, you also have to have obedience, right? Because there's also penalties that come with when you don't listen to God. Now people be like, well, God wouldn't do this, wouldn't do that. Well, he has no choice because he's just. If I commit murder and Eli commit murder, he let mine slide. Was like, well, you know what, dude, he just going through the things. He lost in a video game, he okay. And then he punished him. He's not a just God. We shouldn't be following him. But I'm gonna get a punishment, and so will he. Now, mind you, the punishments may be different, but that all depends on the circumstance of the person's life. But just know, every time somebody does something, there has to be a curse. It's called blessing and curses, right? That's just what it is. And it's not because God's evil. It's not because he's bad. That's just the rules. And once you see, when I'm going through the scriptures, you'll see it doesn't matter if you're Jew or Gentile. Anybody can get this, right? But it all comes from our listening. So hearken unto the Lord. This is God telling you to talk to him, to hearken unto him. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 1 and verse 2.
Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them that ye may live, and go in and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God which I command you.
So it says, hearken unto the Lord, right? And it says, when I teach you for to do them, that you may live and go and possess, right? So it's telling you this is how you should be living. You should be listening to God, whatever he say. You read the word. It's instructions of what to do. Daily, tomorrow, yesterday, future, with your family, and so forth. It also says you should not add, you should not diminish. People add and diminishes all this world all the time. If anybody tell y'all anything about the Bible, right? Even myself, you challenge them. They say, oh yeah, in the Bible it say this. You know what you say? Show me. Because people don't do that. They just take your word for it. And then when you start finding out these things don't exist, when it says God loves the sinner but hates sin, that's not in the Bible. When it says God loves everybody, that's not in the Bible. None of these things they be making up are in this book. But you don't know because you don't read it. It's a big book to grab this book. Woo, it's a lot of pages. I ain't about to look through that. But if you don't look through that, this is how you get deceived. And you go about your life doing all these bad things that you shouldn't be doing. Right?
I got a question. Back for a second to that page.
Mhm.
Go back. Hold on. Okay. Where it says in the first verse about going and possess the land.
Yeah.
That's not just literal then.
At this particular time, it is because this is so basically what he's saying is you possessing the land, but the rules come with it. So you can't just go into the land doing whatever you want to do because before they in the land, they're doing whatever they want to do. So it's something like you come into some house. Before you come in the house, it's meant to got to take your shoes off, hat, stuff like that. So he's giving them the rules before they go into the land. So there's no there's no problems. So he's talking to Israel about them going into the land that he was giving it to them. So this is Proverbs chapter 8, verse 32 through 36.
Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction, and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death.
Now, see, they won't tell you that. They say, well, hate them, love death. People don't say that. Like, you hate God, he still love you. They don't say that. And it's like I said, it's not to be harsh. It's just this is what it say, and this is the disconnect. People make up God in their own sense. They're like, oh, God all loving. It don't say that. It say he brings wrath, he get jealous. It don't say that. So it's like you listening to what people say, but it's not coming from God. It's not coming from the Bible, right? And that's the main problem. That's why I always tell y'all, just read. Even if you don't know, just keep reading. God will give you the answer later. Sometimes he give it to me today. I be like, what's that mean? He quiet. Okay, cool. 2 days later, oh, that's what that meant. I got you. It'd be like that sometimes, but sometimes you'll get it right away. But you'll never get it if you always just listening to somebody else and you never read for yourself. I've been to many churches lately. They read it, ain't nobody got their book open. But you know what's crazy? When they were singing hymns and stuff in these little churches, oh, they had their books open. But it was time to read, nah, ain't nobody listening because they're not here for that. They here to feel good, right? They're not here for no conviction. So like I said, it's not, and that's the culture. You got people who come to the stage, they're doing this dancing and singing. Would I dance sing for y'all? Yeah, but we're not gonna do that at church like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? When we get to that point, we do this. You break bread. Then you do all the singing and praising. We got the word, we understood. But I can't be having, oh y'all know, Father, and the music in the background, because now it's playing on your heartstrings. I do music and I know music affects people emotionally. People be attached to song. This is my favorite song, my brother died. So now you're attached to that. So just imagine I'm playing something that can make you want to donate money. Oh man, God, just donate money. You ain't know why you donate money. You just giving money away. Boop, boop. My brother showed me a video the other day. I don't know if y'all know Keon Henderson. He a pastor in Texas. He married to Shaq's old wife. He said, y'all need to tithe, but you need to tithe for the church. He said, because when you tithe to the poor, God is only going to give you back what you tithe to give to the poor. So if I give $20 to the poor, God can give me $20 back. That's it. So that he's telling them not to tithe to the poor or give to the poor. He said give to the church, because when you give to the church, God gonna multiply you. This came out this man's mouth on stage in front of his congregation. And you know they saying, woo, yeah, woo, they doing that. There's nowhere in this book that says that. It actually says give to the poor. They were the first people to get something. God get his, you get the Levites theirs. Well, this is back today. You get the Levites theirs, and then you got to leave something for the poor. He don't say give this because you're gonna get 10% back. That's crazy. But I know why he's saying that. He want a church. He want multiple churches that cost $20 million, $30 million. I'm not dumb, but they're dumb. You want to know why? Because they're literally deliberately following somebody like that, which I don't think you should do. And we're going to talk about that too. So this is Numbers chapter 6, 24 and verse 25.
The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee.
So it says, the Lord bless thee and keep thee, and the Lord make his face shine upon thee, right? So he got you. As long as you want, following steps, he got you. And sometimes, like I said, you may go through something and you might see, like say you caught a flat tire. Oh man, this and that. Well, he probably gave you a flat tire because if you kept going, you'd been in more of an accident, right? Because even when he gave you that flat tire, he also gave you help. I got a situation like that too. I was working on my wife's car, and I thought I messed something up. I've been out here all day. I'm like, yo, it's no way, because I can't take all these pieces off. But you know what happened? As I needed the calming spirit coming out of nowhere, good friend, Mr. Mike, he comes out of there and he explained stuff to me because he already been through that. Because I was afraid I'm going to flush the radiator. And he talked to me. I was calm through it. Be back and running, right? But sometimes you just gotta wait, be patient, because like I said, the answer not gonna come when you want it. God is not a genie; He don't work like that. That doesn't mean He can't give it to you right away, but there has to be some type of trust, because you believe in Him. And like, look, I'm not gonna put you in danger. Because when I look at Israel, He actually don't put them in danger. When they are in danger, it's because they put themselves in that, because they wasn't listening. He never was like, yo, come follow me. I'm gonna tell you what. It's like, oh, it's a dead end. I can't get you out of this situation. He'll never do that, right? So that was saying hearken to God. This is who you don't hearken to, right? You don't hearken to a prophet, right? Some people say I'm a prophet. I don't really consider that, but you can call me a prophet if you want to. I'm more of a pastor, a shepherd, a leader. But don't hearken to a prophet, right? So this is Jeremiah 23, verse 16. Hearken not unto a prophet.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of the Lord.
It says, unto the words of the prophets that prophesy to you, they make you vain. You know what vain mean? Useless. That's nothing, right? Listening to a prophet. And you know what's crazy? We listen to prophets a lot. Don't realize it. It could be your president. It could be your little civil rights movement. It could be all these people. Oh, we believe him. And then they would say God told them this, right? God said this and that. God ain't tell you that. But you know what? It sounds good, right? Let me give you some examples. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 13, verses 1 through 3.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you, to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul.
All right, so in Jeremiah, right, it talks about you listening to a prophet. And let's say, I talk about this all the time. Let's say this prophet, right, if he says something from God, everything got to come true, right? If one thing don't come true, he's not a prophet. This case is a little different. This one said, if it do come true, right, you still don't listen to him, because look, because of the context, right? It says it giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and it says the wonder come to pass. So that means it happened, right? It says, wherefore he spoke unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods. So even if somebody say something like, yeah, this and that, like say, hey, come with me, we gonna get all this money. Satan could be behind that. So you do go there, you give money, right? But he'll say it's, about God or whatever, but he'll disguise it other gods. That don't mean you go over there neither. Because like I said, this is what the rules mean. Because if you know the rules, you wouldn't dwell in stuff like that. But you got to know the rules. You got to know what God you're serving. And if you don't know what God you're serving, this is going to be easily deceived. So for instance, right, as much as I have no disrespect for the man MLK, we say I have a dream. Everybody followed that, right? But when you listen to him and when you start really thinking about what he said, and he even said himself that he sent his people to a burning building, right? And this is because this move that you're making, it's not a move of God. God don't want you to do this because you don't know you're going to set everybody back like this, right? But it sounds good, the integration. Like I said, it's not about racism because you can still have integration with people, but still have distincts because, like I said, we doing this or we doing that. It's a problem. I see families get together. This person is LGBTQ. This person is that. But you know what? You got this one uncle who might be a P3O, right? And you got all these people amongst each other and they trying to be keeping it cool because it's Christmas, all right? But this person hate them, this person hate them. I don't like your lifestyle. None of this, right? Because their culture is different. The way they believe is different. Their God is different. That doesn't make any sense. And we all believe in the same thing. We all believe that, hey, rape is wrong, murder is wrong, all this stuff is wrong. We're not gonna have no problems. But the problem is your best friend or somebody you next to has a different belief and outlook on things that's outside of God, right? And that changes the whole dynamic. People are like, well, I don't believe in God, I don't know if he exists. That's cool. So where you get your morals from, right? Where you get these things in life that carry you in life, right? You couldn't tell me it's wrong for me to do something if you don't have no authority of standard morality. Because if the morality is my own self and it's subjective, what we fighting for? You can't really tell nobody what to do. So there's still got to be somebody at the top. So even if somebody says something and it come to pass, right? Now you got to make sure it's something that God would have said or God did say. If he didn't say this or wouldn't have said this, you can't follow that, even if it come to pass, because Satan can make things happen too, right? As he gives permission from God, that is. But he can make things happen too. And like I said, he's going to keep going. He's going to talk about putting them to death. So this is verse 4 and 5 in Deuteronomy 13.
Ye shall walk after the Lord your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he hath spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in. So shall thou put the evil away from the midst of thee.
All right, so this is telling killing. We're not killing nobody because the law of sacrifice is done away with, right, after Christ died. So we're not killing nobody. But in this sense, it'll be like I say, walk away from this person. You shouldn't follow this person. Before the verse 4 it says, follow all God's laws. And like I said, because you have no idea what this person is telling you, what they leading to, right? So that's a prophet. So like, okay, we're not just a prophet or pastor. No, he talking about family too. So this is hearken not unto family over the Most High.
I'm sorry, I got questions today.
Mhm.
So as far as the prophet, like Daniel, was he considered a prophet? And if so, is there a distinction there? I mean, you should.
Yeah, because Daniel is everything that coming from God, but but like I said, Daniel's culture and the way he's living is all different than the people he's speaking this to. So for instance, Daniel gets in trouble because Daniel doesn't want to pray to the God. So they had made the Nebuchadnezzar statue and stuff like that. He's like, I ain't doing that. So they're like, okay, cool. They made that a law, a violation to get him in trouble. This is where you get Daniel and the lion's den from, because they gotta find a way to make you break your rules to follow our rules. That's what they do now. We got to find a way. So Daniel, everything Daniel is saying, it has to come true or Daniel is false too. But everything Daniel has said so far in the prophecy line has came true with all the beasts of the earth, with all the kingdoms, everything he's saying. On this case is he's not this prophet in particular in this case is like I said, let's say I was like I don't know. Let's say I said, who did Trump just go against? Kamala, right? So let's say Kamala won, right? And people would go for that, but I said God said this, or whatever, or I was saying like, well, God don't know about this, but the gods we serve, tell you this. What's happening is things that God say will come to pass, but things that Satan say also come to pass, right? So you got to be careful. But then, like I said, you keep going down the line. So it came to pass, that came to pass. Now you go to the next level. All right. did God say any of these things would happen? If he didn't, okay, cool. Let's say he did say one of these things happen. Now does it align with his laws, statutes, and commandments? Because that's the real difference. See, people always be like, oh yeah, well I can't stop eating pork. I'm like, what's a choice? You choose to stop eating that. So let's say I said somebody eat pork because God can't go back on his word neither, right? So there's a prophet in the Bible. I think this is in Numbers, I believe. And God told him to stay by this tree. Say you can't eat enough, you can't go nowhere, right? This is what God says. God can't go back on his word. So when God said, that's law. Another prophet comes to and says, God spoke to me and told me that you come to my house and eat. You know what he did? He left. And okay, he left and he went to the house, right? And he was like, you see, nothing happened to you. But when the guy left, he got more by lying. Because God wouldn't have sent another person after I told you what to do. He can't go back on his word. So like I said, once you start learning the law and understanding how God works, you'll see when God says something, it's final. It can't be changed. There's nothing about it because his word can't come back to him voided. It got to go out. So if I say Reverend going to be the president, regardless of how Reverend be 90 years old, he gonna become the president. The problem with us is we see it as a time thing, fleshly. So since Reverend not the president at 45, well, he never become the president. He'll never become this. He'll never become that. And you don't give God time to work because when you're dealing with God, you have to wait because you don't know when your time is. Just because you want that time to happen, that doesn't mean it's gonna happen. God's still gonna do this because he has to live up to the promise. He cannot break his promise, or he's not God. And I'm actually gonna go with scripture like that. It's a scripture dealing with Sarah and Abraham about promise breaking.
But didn't Yeshua say that after me there will be no more? Because everything that he has to say is in the book.
Correct.
There will be no more.
Yeah.
So you can't have prophets after him because he says it's all there. I gave it
Yeah,
to you.
yep.
You got it. There's no sense in looking at.
But
somebody
see, people don't believe that because in Joel they'll say that your women and men will prophesy, and I was explaining that to Miss Green over there, and we were just talking about like because somebody she was like you could be a prophet too, and I said yeah, but I'm not in a prophet of a sense I'm a prophet from God. I'm a prophet because that word prophet means to give utterance, just to speak. So technically, anybody, all of us can be a prophet for real, for real. But to say that God picked you to do this, no, because of the scripture, he says, before I talked to the prophets, now I talk to y'all now through my son. So after Christ, I mean, like you say, there's no need. The book done. So we already know the ending. So anybody tell you the further comes, it's like, yeah, but people look for that, right? Because it's the feeling they need, the yearning. Oh, well, this person's going to prophesy or whatever. They look for that, right? So I'm going to give you an example right here. And this is about hearkening to your family. So this is Deuteronomy, still in the same chapter. This is verses 6 through 8. And actually, it goes beyond that. They go to 11. So you read 6 to 8 first.
If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or thy wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him.
All right, so this is verses 9 to 11. So this is the consequence of this.
But thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones, that he die, because he hath sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you.
All right, so he said you need to kill them, right? And when you kill them, they're gonna hear about that. They're gonna be scared of that. So he gonna make this person a public example, right? But I'm gonna go back to it. It says brother, son, mother, son, daughter, wife, friend, right? He telling you don't listen to nobody else. They telling you about some foolishness, okay? No wickedness. Even if it's like I said, this should be your spouse. I'm married. Hey, she like, nah, we need to go ahead and do this. I'm like, who said that? What these other, it ain't God, but this and that. She gotta go because now even when we look at the New Testament, it said if you don't love God, if you love your parents or your brother or your sister more than you love God, then you don't love God. God gotta be first. But if you was to do this and you listen to somebody else, after God said, hey, you shouldn't go do that, and you still do it, clearly that just shows that you don't love God, right? So now the penalty back then, they was getting killed. We're not gonna get killed today, but there'll be some sort of a penalty, right? But it says, thou shalt not consent, nor hearken, none of that. But right, but what happens? Most people are forced to do that, especially like children, right? They forced to do what their parents tell them to do, stuff like that. But then when they get older, now it's a rebellion, it's rejection. Well, I don't think you should do that. Well, you know, that's what God said. Show me. Can't show you. Now it's an issue. You know what? Get out my house. Here come the rules now, because now you starting to see that it's a problem. Now I realize it, that the parent could be wrong, but just realize it's okay because we all was wrong. Satan tricked everybody. You ain't special. You tricked me, him, all of us, that church, this city. Everybody got tricked. But just think about, is your mom or your dad coming from doctrine? Is your spouse coming from doctrine? Your brother, are they coming from doctrine, or are they coming from how they feel? Are they coming from doctrine or what another God said to them? But like I said, God's rules is to keep you safe. And what's crazy is, right, people talk about rules. That's what the rules nowadays keep you safe. That's what stop signs for. Traffic lights, it's to keep you safe. Now some rules I don't agree with, right? But a lot of the rules are really keep you safe. But you know what happens? People don't follow these rules, right? Walking across the street, you know, not using the crosswalk. I showed up with my brother. This girl got hit. The light's clearly green, so she really in the wrong, but she's on her phone, right? So I'm pretty sure the guy who hit her is gonna get in trouble. But it's like, yeah, it's a reason why it's a sign across the street. They got the hand. Hey, bro, you shouldn't come across the street. No, I'm gonna just keep on coming because who gonna hit me? But you don't know what this person's doing. They could be doing what you're doing, texting, not paying attention. But the rules is you know what I'm saying, is to keep orders, to keep structure, to keep safety. And if we don't follow the rules, then we have these type of problems, right? So this is talking about hearkening and removing false gods, right? So God doesn't even like statues and stuff like that. Y'all seen that? What's the guy name that died? What the police put on his knee on his neck?
They just did one of them.
George Floyd, right? So did y'all see George Floyd mural got struck by lightning?
Not long if they did it, yeah.
Right?
Who?
George Floyd, the guy that was in
I did a mural.
like in Minnesota or
I can't
something.
breathe.
Yeah, I guess that was him. Yeah.
Yeah, during COVID.
So his mural's blown up. A lightning bolt hit that wall. Blown up.
That's good.
Is that right?
Yeah, but and I'm not just saying it for that, but it's like God don't want these things, right? He doesn't want these idols because they said they become idols. People come. I done had people I know come down here freak out because they see the White House and the monument. Those are idol things to you because, like I said, what you looking at this for? What you care about this for? You putting these type of things above God, right? So back in the day, God told them they had to get rid of all this stuff. So this is Deuteronomy 13, 12 through 18, if I'm not mistaken.
If thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy God hath given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Belial, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which ye have not known. Then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be truth in the things certain that such abomination is wrought among you, thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof, every whit, for the Lord thy God, and it shall be an heap forever, it shall not be built again. And there shall cleave not of the cursed thing to thine hand, that the Lord may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and shew thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee as he hath sworn unto thy fathers. When thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep all his commandments, which I command thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord thy God.
All right, so they was clearing out house. He told them like all the statues, all that stuff, burn it. I don't want to see it. Now, mind you, when we said last time, I think I read we read Joshua and about Jericho. He told me they could take all the gold and silver and bring it back home. So sometimes it is you can bring stuff home. Sometimes you can't. That's just what it is. And in Joshua, some people brought back statues, right? Brought it back, but it was made out of gold. So it's still gold, still silver. They brought it back. And God was like, hey, somebody in your camp wasn't listening. And you better go get them. Because if you don't, I'm going to kill everybody. right? So eventually they figured out who it was, right? He was a Judite. They figured out who it was. But he's telling them, like, you don't know what people are doing with these things. So I told him over this before, like the little statues, little figurines y'all get. Sometimes they pray demons to them. Demons is everywhere. They working all the time. They try and see if we mess up. But just think about, like, you have trouble in your house or whatever. Um, my brother, we at work, and he like some girl gonna make this doll for him. I'm like, who gonna make what? And he was like, yeah. I was like, look, how about this one? You get that, you can't come back to where I live. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, because hey, look, it's clear she ain't nowhere on our path, right? And it's not to say she a bad person, but you don't know what you bringing into your, you know what I'm saying, to your situation. So you should be mindful of even, like I said, gifts and things you give her. He was like, oh, whatever. Even the gifts I gave y'all be like, hey, question this, you can throw it in the trash. I mean, it's kind of gold, so I'd rather you trying to get the money for it, you know what I'm saying? Everything else you can throw it away, the bookmarks, that's cool. But at least the gold, at least use it for your advantage. Go turn that in, get that cash for it. And then, you rid of me. But I've seen people like that. I had a friend who said he had like a little statue when he come downstairs of his house, and every day they would give an offering to it. I said, what you offering to the statue? He was like, like a fly. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But I work with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I work with he getting rotors for me and stuff. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, he was like a little, I forgot which what it was, but he was in the Hinduism or whatever, right? And he says like a little statue at the bottom of their stage. Like every day they would like give an offering, whether it was money stuff. And it's the crazy part. You give an offering, you would think it's gonna be like a piled up, but it's gone every night. Who's taking this? Exactly. But in his brain, he's not questioning because he raised like this. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no questioning, things like that. Because he said, if you don't know about the Hinduism, they cows are sacred to them, right? And he didn't know about cows. I think I told the story before. I'll tell it again. He didn't know about cows. So this is a crazy thing, right? He don't eat beef. They don't do cows because cows are sacred. So this is like you'll go to India and they have like cows who homes and they pray over the cows, stuff like that. But he worked at Wendy's and he sold beef to people. That's crazy, right? Right. I didn't understand though. So one day we at work, and my boss he was like, you never heard a story about the golden calf? He was like, what you talking about? And he was telling the story about when Moses was in the field and Aaron and them built the golden calf. He didn't talk to us for like 3 days because he never knew that. So it's like, yeah, you could be constantly worshiping something or doing something for somebody just because this is all you know. Even a kid, you never question it because usually when you're a kid and you question stuff with your parents, hey, shut up. I'm the adult XYZ. But I'm like, hey man, I'm not saying your parents are bad people. They just deceive like the rest of us. And if you keep playing this deceiving game, like I said, what is this shrine or whatever you're doing? He didn't even understand religion, but he just doing it only because his sister was a nurse, told him to get the COVID shot. He got the COVID shot. He coming to work. My boss is clowning everybody got the COVID shot. This and that, this and that. Now he's sick. Now he's scared. Man, I don't want to get him a shot. Now I'm mad at my sister. And it's like, yeah, but just think about who you listening to. It just said, don't listen to these people, right? Not saying you can't listen to your mom, not saying I can't listen to my friend, whoever, but just think about when you're listening to them. Let me make sure God, double check this and approve because you don't know what this person believes in. You know what this person is doing. They're literally coming on stage every day and putting coins on a statue. I don't know what's going to get you, but hey, that's what they're doing. And it might work for them. Just not working for me, something I'm not doing.
Is that any statue? Or
Any statue. Any statue. Because I'm gonna give you an example, right, of how slick Satan is, right? There's nowhere. Okay, so check this out. I have a friend who might make vows. I call him the alphabet boy, right? God says don't make a vow, right? Not unto him, not another. Because you make a vow with God, you gotta own that. Because you can't make a vow and they get mad when they get broken, right? So you gotta own this vow. But you know what's crazy? When you get married, what they make you do? God ain't say that. That's not in this book. I was thinking this whole time when they was reading the Holy Matrimony, I thought that was cut out the Bible. No, it's not. That's a state little law they put into this. So they got you believing this. So you done made a promise, right? And then you're making this promise to God unknowingly. So when you do get a divorce, this is why it's going bad. Because you done broke a vow to God. And he say, hey, you better off not even doing that, right? You should just, hey, go about your business, do whatever. But nope, this little slick nuances. So people don't know about vows and stuff like that. All right, so this is the examples. So this is going to talk about Sarah when you were talking about the time waiting. These are examples of when you're not listening to God. So this is the first one, who is one of my favorite characters in the Bible, Mr. Pharaoh. And this is Exodus 7:22-25.
And the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened. Neither did he hearken unto them as the Lord had said. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house, neither did he set his heart to this also. And all the Egyptians digged around about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled after that the Lord had smitten the river.
So it said, neither did he hearken unto them, as the Lord said. He was talking about hearkening into Aaron and Moses, because that's who was going to talk to him. So mind you, as God turns the water red, right? He's actually waiting for Pharaoh to, like, you know what, you gonna listen to me? Pharaoh see his guys, the magicians, as it talks about, and they do we can make the magic too. He like, oh, okay. So since y'all can do it too, I'm not gonna listen to God say. So now, instead of just, accepting that, now you're gonna go through a 7-day period where you ain't got no water. None. All because you don't want to listen to nobody, right? Pharaoh is like my favorite character. I promise you he is. Like, if you never knew a bad lesson, he is the perfect example of a bad lesson. All right, so this is Joshua chapter 5, verse 6, and this is talking about the children of Israel working off for 40 years. When I was younger and before I started learning the Bible, I used to hear about this all the time, that Israel walked around the desert 40 years and God with them 40 years. It made it sound like God was like with them and for them. But totally, that's not the case. This is a punishment from not listening. Because why would God be lost? I made the earth. How could I be lost, right? No, that's not the case. So this is Joshua chapter 5, verse 6.
For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the people that were men of war which came out of Egypt were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord, unto whom the Lord sware that he would not shew them the land, which the Lord sware unto their fathers that he would give us, a land that floweth with milk and honey.
All right, so it said they obeyed not the voice of the Lord, right? So this is going to be the in-depth context of this. So this is Numbers chapter 14, 20 through 24. And he will explain why he punished them, right? And explain who didn't get punished during this time period. So this is Numbers chapter 14, verses 20 through 24.
And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to thy word, but as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which have which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice. Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto the fathers, neither shall any of them that provoked me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and hath followed me fully, him will I bring into the land whereinto he went, and his seed shall possess it.
Now you see that? So they said everybody that saw his miracles and stuff like that, his glory, they said they tempted him 10 times. So you know what's crazy? He gave them multiple times. Grace and mercy. Y'all just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. All right, that's cool. Don't worry about it. I got something for you. And when it talks about the pardon right there, pardon according to his word, Moses was trying to like plead with them. He was like, that's cool. I'm not going to hurt them. He's just going to make them walk around the wilderness for 40 years. Don't worry about it. We're going to walk around the wilderness till y'all die. But Caleb, as you see right here, it says he had another spirit with him, right? Which is probably the Holy Spirit. It says, and have followed me fully. Him will I bring into the land whereunto he went, and his seed shall possess it. So Caleb, he one of them too, right? But he's one of those younger ones that's listening. Y'all like, that's cool. Y'all listening? Y'all get to go. All y'all that's listening, the buck stops here. So literally, they walked around the wilderness for 40 years, not because they were lost. It was a punishment. God had to wait for that generation that couldn't get in to die off. Once the last one was dead, okay, cool. We can go over here, right? Just to show you like what he'll do, but it has to be a punishment. Even though they're probably saved, they're probably still going to heaven or whatever, right? There's still punishment for your actions on earth, right? Don't think it's just like, oh, well, I'll do this, I'm going to go to hell and I'm going, no. I ain't saying you can't be saved, but during this journey, there's punishments along the way. And that was one of their punishments. He still loved Aaron. He still loved Moses. Moses is a guy, and Moses is not going to the land. But I'm pretty sure Moses will be in heaven, right? Hey, you can't go to the land, bro. You was with the rest of them. Y'all was acting the fool. It is what it is. I love you, though. I love you. You just can't get to the land. This is how it be. And I don't want y'all to think like, oh, I gotta do good. But just do know when you're doing bad and you really disobeying God, there's consequences behind it. That's just the nature of the game, right? So this is Genesis. This is the beginning. This is Adam and Eve, right? So this is when Adam is not listening to God and his wife is listening to God. So this is verse 17 through 19.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return.
All right. So it says, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, right? It ain't because there ain't no fruit. It ain't because none of that. It's because you just listen to somebody else. I told you not to eat stuff. You listen to her. She said eat it. Okay, you get punished for it, right? It's pretty simple. And now they got cursed, right? The ground cursed. She cursed. She gonna have labor pains. All these things happen because they just broke God's rules, right? You just wasn't listening to God. This is another example. This is what you're talking about, like almost something will come to pass. So you're gonna have to pay for this too. So this is Genesis chapter 16, verse 2 through 6.
And Sarai said unto Abram, behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face.
All right, so God told Abraham, look, I'm going to bless you, bro. I'm going to give you a family. Mind you, Abraham like 80 years old. He like, me, you give me a son? Like, I'm kind of old, bro. My wife old is crazy. So he said, look, I got you. Like I said, this is part of the faith and believing. So Sarah knows she barren. She can't have no children. So what she does, she got a plan. Well, you know what? I'm going to just give you a baby with my maiden, right? But then when she do give the girl up, the girl get pregnant. Now she mad. Well, you the one that wanted to do it. Now you beat her, got this girl crying and running around. Now God, come on, hey, chill. It's okay, it's okay. We know she's gonna act crazy. But just think about that, right? You not listening, now you got hurt by doing this. All you had to do is just wait your time. Now, mind you, God's still gonna give them a baby, but God never approved, never told you to do this. But you know what? He let it happen just to show this is what happens when you go against me. Right? So now you mad because another woman barren, but like, yeah. So now you're thinking, because this is the part where when you keep going on, this is when Sarah laughs at God. Like me, get a baby at my age. Yeah, hi. He like, you laugh at me. But it's the thing about it, her faith is being shaken because she just like, yeah, because she wanted now, because she don't believe that I can have a baby at 100 years old. She don't believe I can have a baby like this. But God made a promise to Abraham, I got you. I'm gonna give you a seed. Now mind you, that's another kid. So he still gave him Ishmael, right? But he also gave him Isaac, which is the one that was coming from his wife, right? But just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean anything. So you got kids, you want kids, and it hasn't happened, it's okay. Right? If God wanted to have kids, you're gonna have kids. It might not be your time. You might not be ready. You might not be established. Maybe God wants you to go through some more spiritual things, some aspects. But if He said He gonna give it to you, He gonna give it to you. The thing about us is we gotta wait. Right? You gotta have patience. This is a patience thing. I was telling my friend earlier. You always in constant battles. It's a battle every day. It's a war. It's a constant battle. Your war don't stop until you in that box. Or when Christ come back. When he come back, hey, you still here? Cool. But if it did not, it's a battle every single day. But during this journey, sometimes you gotta wait. Joseph was in jail for what, 12 years? And God was like, nah, stay doing more. You gotta wait. Sometimes you gotta wait, right? It is not because that, it's because hey, God is he fixing to do things behind the scenes. But if you constantly trying to rush things and do stuff yourself, God like, look, hey man, you shouldn't do that. But go ahead, you're gonna do it anyway. Now mind you, I still got your back, but now you done altered the route. So maybe the route was like this, now the route like going this way. Then you got this problem. I lost 2 cars. Well, if you wouldn't have bought the car the first time and waited, I'd have got you the car you wanted, right? So this is another example. This is a funny one because this is also an example of how people, let's say you listen, right? You can't half listen either. So let's say when I tell you I was fixing the car, and Mr. Mike was like, "Yeah, pour the antifreeze in there." And what I do, I pour a quarter. I'm half listening. You can't half listen. You got to do it all the way. You can question along the way as you're doing the deed, but don't do halfway, because you do halfway, technically you're not listening. Because I told y'all earlier, listening when it comes to hearkening is also obedience. So you got to listen completely. This is an example of Saul not listening, and he pays a price for not listening to God. So this is a lot. This is Samuel 15:1 through, I want to say it's through
23.
23, right?
Yeah.
All right, Samuel chapter 1. Well, Samuel, the first book of Samuel, chapter 15, 1 through 23. Bear with me.
Samuel also said unto Saul, The Lord sent me to anoint thee to be a king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way which he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judea. And Saul came to the city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto
Are you good? Go ahead.
and Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites,
I'm sorry.
lest I destroy you with them. For ye shewed kindness to the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites.
We are verse 7, by the way. Sorry about that.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and hath not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, and it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord, I have performed the commandment of the Lord. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites. For the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thy own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And the Lord anointed thee king over Israel? And the Lord sent thee on a journey, and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord? And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil sheep and oxen, the chief of things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than to sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king.
So he told him, you reject me, you ain't king no more, bro. Just because you're not listening. Now, mind you, if you read this story, Saul is messing it up constantly. At first, he was okay, right? But he's constantly messing it up. So God's still giving him grace and mercy. And then and you read, as he's reading, right? He said, yeah, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord. He like, nah, you ain't do what you're supposed to do. Everything's supposed to be destroyed. So now you, like I said, you did a half job. Not realizing God may have not wanted you to get the sheep and the oxen. Why are you so worried about them? If I'm God, I'm telling you what to do. I'm keeping you safe. I can give you plenty of sheep, bro. Plenty. I give you everything you need. Just do what I say. It's a reason why I told you to kill them. It was a reason. They were trying to kill y'all this whole time. Now it's y'all time to do it. Get rid of everything, all their stuff. Now he listening to the people because he was always listening to the people, right? He went to the witchcraft lady trying to get Saul, would come up and Samuel come from the dead, talk to him. He breaking all the rules, right? But not realizing, hey, when you do something for God, you gotta do it all the way. So even though he is king, God rejected him. Like, yeah, you be, and this is a king, right? We're not kings. Technically, we're not on nobody's land. So if God can reject the king, sure enough, he can reject you. It's not a problem. But don't think that you can't be rejected or God can't do something to you because, oh, you know what I'm saying? That's not how this works. Because in the fleshly realm, you still got consequences to pay for when you do things. God told him, God gave him commandments, you ain't following, right? It was simple. Hey, kill everybody. I don't want to see nothing left. We'll figure that out later. He was like, well, I guess y'all keep those. Y'all keep that. Y'all keep that. You're not listening. You listening to people. We said earlier, don't listen to people, especially when it's going against something else. You listen to them for what? But you know what's happened? That's how most people get into it, right? I'm preaching, I'm teaching. Hey, you shouldn't do all that. All right, whatever. So I'm going to change this. Let me change this right here so I can please them. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Okay, switch back over here. It's like Democrats and Republicans. They're going to change to whatever person they try to talk to. You shouldn't do that, right? God will always punish you for not listening. Right here on verse 22, this is one of my favorite things. It says, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken, which means listen, than that the fat of the rams. If you listening, you ain't even got to make no sacrifices. God don't care about dead animals. He don't care about you burning this and that. Oh God, I'm gonna whip myself 15 Hail Marys. He don't care about that. He's better off you just listening and you wouldn't even have to do no Hail Mary. Just go listen what I say you to do, right? That's all this is about. So I'm gonna give you an example of the rules and the blessings and the curses, right? This is how this works. So this is God talking to Israel in Deuteronomy about if they listen, what's gonna happen, and if they don't listen, what's gonna happen. So Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 2, and then verse 15.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
All right, verse 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
I think that's pretty simple. So you listen, you can get blessed, right? Then he said the blessings gonna be so many blessings gonna overtake you. You're gonna know what to do. You're gonna be just blessed here, blessed there. Man, I got a new car, man, I got a new job, I got new this, new this. I just got a baby, man, I just got some money, all that, right? Just keep listening. God got you. He know your heart. He know what you want. He know what you need. He already got you. But they also say if you won't listen to him, what's going to happen? You get curses, and guess what they're going to do? Overtake thee. You ever had like this streak of bad luck? Oh man, I had a flat tire. I got locked up. Lost half my job. I got beat up. My girlfriend left me. You go through my stuff. You know what's probably all during that time you wasn't listening to somebody or something, right? Because sometimes God may just not talk to you through a prayer. He might just be like, hey, tell him what is going on because he know I talk to Dre a lot, or he know I talk to Sam a lot, or something like that, right? And he'll send one of them to say something to me that I already had on my mind, questioning God, like, yo, God, should I do this? And I ain't said nothing to Dre or Ray or nobody. They come tell me. He was asking about what, be an electrician, right? I was like, bro, I don't know you talk to God. And we having a conversation, and then another brother who never heard us say this was like, no, you look like an electrician. I was like, there you go. That's your answer. It worked like that sometimes, right? And that's just listening. Now, mind you, I know that's Old Testament. So people are like, well, that's the Old Testament. They don't work like that no more. Oh, don't worry about it because we got it in the New Testament too. They always try to do that to you. So this is Romans. I like this one. This is Romans chapter 2, verses 8 through 11.
But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath, tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, and the Jew first, and also of the Gentile. But glory and honor and peace to every man that worketh good, to the Jew first, and also to the Gentile. For there is no respect of persons with God.
There's no respect of persons with God. So no matter what color you are, what school you go to, you got two hands, one hand, you black, dreads, bald, glasses, nothing. And you following me, I got you. It's glory, honor, it's peace. Anybody working good to the Jew first, because that's his people, and then to the Gentile next. That's how the order is. But it also says tribulation and anguish, and upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and to the Gentile. So whether you're doing evil, you're gonna get it. Whether you're doing good, you're gonna get it. It has to go. It has to go like that because it makes God unjust if He doesn't. So don't think just because you a Jew or something like that. Nah, whatever. You can get punished like that too. They a Gentile, they get punished. Now, pastors, people that's supposed to be pastors, shepherds, and musicians, they get punished on an even higher level, right? But they still get punished, whether it's they following rules or they not, because it's the same thing, right? So this is my good friend Christ. When he talk, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if it was Paul, whoever. When he talk, he's supposed to be God, right? So if he talk, we gotta listen to what he say. So this is what he talks about hearing and not hearing. This is Luke 6:46 through 49.
And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will shew you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built a house and digged deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like the man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great.
That's simple. Hey, listen to God, you're gonna build this house, nothing gonna stop it, right? It's on the foundation of the rock, and the rock is Christ, right? Flood arose, you beat that. The stream coming through, you beat that. If somebody shaking the earthquake, Noah's still standing, right? All because you listening to the way he built it. When Noah built the boat, Noah wasn't just out there like, I'm gonna build a boat. Nah. God was like, look, this is just the manual, right? Make sure screw A go with nail B and X, Y, Z, bro. If you do this how I do it, you gonna survive the flood. If you mess up one screw, hey boy, you better pray to me. Better pray to me. But if you don't listen, right, this is what's gonna happen. You don't listen, stuff's gonna happen. You're gonna get overtaken, right? All these things, like I said, will come upon you, and all this stuff will happen just from listening. Like I said, whether it's your parents or whoever, but just thinking about when you're listening to somebody coming from the voice of God. So let's say my parents, right, was like, hey, do this, this, and that, right? I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Why would I follow God? Why would I do this? Nah, I can't do that. And people will see that as disrespect. You still can honor your parents, right? As it says in the Ten Commandments, you can still honor your parents, right, and still do something different. For instance, Abraham's father, he worshiped the devil. He worked with Nimrod and all of them. He worshipped statues. He never disrespected his dad. He never beat him up, killed him enough. He just like, hey, can't learn from you. I'm gonna learn from Shem and Noah and the rest of them. You out of control. But he never disrespected them. But he picked God over all that. Even though you my dad, you birthed me here, you still not aligning what I believe in. I gotta pick what I believe in first because this is what's making me go. I do wake up, my alarm, I hear it, stuff like that. But in reality, I ain't lately. I guess the last 2-3 weeks, I wake up every day before my alarm go off. So I know it's not. I know it's not my alarm. It's clearly God. If somebody come in, I might wake him up. If God don't want him up, he ain't getting up. So now I gotta think about that, right? Or babies. You ever seen a baby? You don't gotta teach a baby how to eat. Just put it in their mouth. They drink it, all that, all they by themselves. There's certain things they gotta learn how to do, but you don't really teach them how to walk, right? They already programmed to do certain things, right? So if they program to do certain things, I know there's a higher power. And now I got to decide, is this higher power, right, strong enough for me to follow him, or should I follow somebody less? I follow God because the power that he has, I don't see nobody else with it. What's the point? The people who do evil, right? If people scared of the other gods, that's their God too. That's their father. Why would I listen to you? I'm going straight to the source. I don't want to go to Apple. I want to talk to Tim Cook. If you let me talk to him, I need to know who the head guy is. But you know what happened? The whole world, they got bosses, underbosses, supervisors. You don't get to talk to the main guy. You talk to the main guy, a lot of problems will change. I don't talk to the main. I want to talk to the main person. I don't talk to the angel. I'm talking to nobody. I need to talk to God. He the manufacturer. He's everything, right? So when I stopped eating pork and stuff, it really wasn't because this is bad. Because I mean later on I did learn about how bad pork was, but you made the pig. Who would know it better than you? And you said don't eat it, don't eat it, right? That's like if I go to Toyota, what am I talking to Chevy for? They make this car. I need to talk to whoever made this car from Toyota. I need to go to the source. And the problem is, a lot of things in life, we don't go to the source. We need to go to the source. Everybody's about, well, this happened. Like girls, they be like, well, I'm pregnant, abortion, this and that. Let's go to the source of the problem. Why are you having sex if you're not married? That's the source. You know what the world does? The world gets cut and they keep putting band-aids. No. We don't need no band-aid. Why are we getting cut? Let's get that figure. Like for instance, y'all ever seen the what's it called? The world debt? How much debt? It just goes up. Who was we in debt to? Dr. Manhattan, Thanos, like this is crazy. Who we owe this all this? Where's all this coming from? Nobody ever questions these things. That's the problem. You don't go to the source. You go to or you're a politician, you go to the middleman. No. Let's go to the source. Yeah, let's go to the source. If if God is the source, that's who we need to go to for all things. Your relationship, your job, your family, everything you do. If food, all that. Because like I say, he's the source. He's gonna try to put you in the best position. Always. He'll always gonna put you in the best position. You can have a good life. I guarantee you it wouldn't be greater than the life you'll get with God. That's how, and you could be, like I said, rich. I was telling somebody the other day, I'm not rich. Right, I don't have a lot of money, and yeah, that was, I guess, a dream. You're rich and you get all these cars, stuff like that. But then I see a lot of people that's rich, they miserable. But I know one thing though, I'm rich in spirit, which a lot of people not. They are talking the wrong time. People got real poor spirits. Oh, it's Friday. Oh, it's Monday. You happy? How you happy? I'm like, I'm here. I know a lot of people that's dead. Young people that's younger than me. Like, so you should be a little up. Nah, I mean, I guess you're right. And I'm like, hey, look, it can always be worse. It can always be worse. All right. So this is the last of it. This is the songs. I know I gotta read the songs because I like to sing, even though I can't sing that well. But sing this one though. So this is Psalms 81. It says, to the chief musician upon Gittith, a psalm of Asaph, sing aloud unto God our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the God of Jacob. Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel and the law of the God of Jacob. This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out to the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were delivered from the pots. Thou callest in trouble, and I delivered thee. I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee at the waters of Meribah Salah. Hear, O my people, and I will testify to thee, O Israel. If thou wilt hearken unto me, there shall no strange God be in thee, neither shall thou worship any strange God. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways, I should have soon have subdued their enemies, and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee. So even in this, he's saying, I do whatever y'all need, bro. You got enemies, you got problems, I got you. I solve them. God want to fight your battles. God want to help you get this house. God want to give you money. But when you don't listen, all right, cool. You're going to do your thing. And what's going to happen is you're always going to lose. Even right there, it says, verse 15, the haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves. So somebody who can't even stand God, right, is going to bow down to you and help you because God going to make them if you follow him. That's how powerful he is. Why would I not serve him? A hater, somebody who don't believe in God will help me? What? That's crazy. Because I've been learning people at my job don't believe in God. Like, and they've been helping me. Like, oh, you been helping me, help me do this? You don't even believe in God. He showed it to me every day. whether I'm paying attention or not. I pay attention more now than I used to. I will say that, but he showed me every day, and if he can make the enemies help me, the enemies Rahab was an enemy. She not supposed to help them. They helped the whole town. You know what? Hey, spare the whole family. But everybody else in here, get them out of here, right? Because that's his power. He does that all the time. No matter who it is, God can choose who he want, whether it's an animal, whether it's the trees, whatever. He can do whatever he wants to do his will on earth. Is that not worth worshiping? That's all I'm gonna say. So I thank y'all for the lesson. Thank y'all for being here. You know, I love everybody. I know y'all probably hungry. Y'all made it though. Y'all good. Y'all gonna eat some good food. Everybody be all right. And just thank y'all. So love y'all, and we're gonna say a prayer and
Okay, so
ready to go. Say the prayer. You ready to eat?
I got something to say, but it's not has anything to do with any of this.
I got you. So
I want to bring up something you said earlier about how people go to church, they open up the Bible when the pastor speaks.
mm-hmm.
They don't want you to open it. They want you to always listen to what they have to say.
Oh, that's what it is.
You will see, I could take that scripture right here, any one of those scriptures, one or two words, and I got you trained
Because you can't see it.
You can't see it because you don't have the book.
Nah.
These people God the
This was me.
There will
Yeah.
Everything people say. Come on, well, Mike, you're an accountant, you know what's talking about tax will be 45%. Yeah, tax will be 45%. You're gonna believe it because you look at that and say, well, he's an accountant, so he should know. No. All you gotta do is go to the tax code.
Yeah. Shalom. So yeah, I totally agree though. Like, totally agree.